He's an artist and he is a singer. He have a YouTube channel and then he's a yoga teacher. What not? There is a lot more things on the way.
Self only, like
Hmm.
moving, going all the way around, and then coming to here only, because there are like people like
Who
people working
decide to stay
with
back?
themselves, and they are moving towards like higher self or like
Ah.
more evolved like themselves. And once you are, you can
Hmm.
just like change and transform. Nothing will transform or change outside, but just
Hmm.
being grateful about the things that we have. And we just put this thought and things started changing.
Hmm.
So the thing is, it is about like the thought only. Like if you feel, oh brother, how I tell you why, what's within, I just can't deny.
Cool.
Hmm.
And you have been suggesting me some very interesting books, people, all sort of things. If you just share that so that people can listen to that. Mind Valley
Mm.
and the book
Oh
that
yeah.
you
Like,
shared me during my birthday.
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes, can you just
That is
tell few
that
words
is
about them so
uh,
that
yeah, that is called. Okay, I'll go from the back. The first book that I ever read was Alchemist. Of course,
uh,
it's like a very short story, and it's
yes.
in a story format. So it just makes like a vision, like a movie in your head. And it is a beautiful book. It is about like finding yourself only, like
Hmm.
moving, going all the way around, and then coming to here only, because everything is just here. But you have to take that round to come to know that it is all here only.
Yeah.
That was one of the that was a very important book in my life. The second important book was Autobiography of a Yogi by
Hmm.
Paramahamsa Yogananda.
Hmm.
And I remember the first day when I started reading that book. I think the first 10 minutes I had like tears in my eyes, because it was such a beautiful book. And it is about like Paramahansa Yogananda and his whole journey of
Hmm.
his spirituality and how he became what he became.
Hmm.
I think most of the books that I read are mostly spiritual only, because I feel that fiction books are of no use. But of course, they are also of use. But I kind of like think that I'll spend my time in trying to learn something.
Hmm.
Then the book that you were talking about was Being Supernatural. Being
Yes.
Supernatural is by Dr. Joe Dispenza. So Dr. Joe
Hmm.
Dispenza had met with an accident, and he had broken all his spine.
Hmm.
And the doctors had told him that he won't be able to like walk again.
Hmm.
And but you can try doing this, doing this surgery, which he decided not to. And then for 6 weeks, he just mentally created
Hmm.
his broken spine in his mind.
Hmm.
And in 6 weeks' time, he went walking to the hospital and
Hmm.
met the doctors. And in that time, he had decided that if he ever walks in his life, he will
Hmm.
dedicate his life to this only. So basically,
Hmm.
what he's saying or what he's teaching is all what is there in our yoga,
Hmm.
but it is in a scientific way. He's basically demystifying the whole process of
Beautiful.
of the potential of ourselves, because it is I think in Shivananda only, I when we were like doing the human anatomy, I
Hmm.
realized after all these years that there is so much happening in the body, like we don't know nothing. And if we
Yes.
try to just minutely look even at the bone structure, there are like so many bones and how they work differently. And it's such
Hmm.
an amazing machine. It's
How
like the
complex it is.
most high tech machine, yeah, most
Yes.
complex machine.
Yes.
But outside it's like it feels so simple, but
Hmm.
so many things are happening. and
Hmm.
and it again like comes up to the point where how we are thinking and how we are consuming things, like
Hmm.
whatever you consume, whatever we see on social media or internet, really matters in our growth.
Hmm.
Like what
Hmm.
you're consuming,
Hmm.
it really matters. Like it's just like food.
Food,
And
exactly. Oh yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
that since like few years I've stopped watching news and watching the newspaper, like reading the newspaper,
Same, yeah,
because I
yeah.
somehow feel that these people just want to like sell their stuff, and it is no use of like consuming that kind of
It's
information.
just
If
making
I
use
need
of
to consume,
there is a part called reptilian brain in our mind, which kind of get attracts
mhm,
to this negativity. It's just, I mean, it's we are
yes,
still the primates in forests according to our brain. So anything negative, it's for our own safety. We kind
mhm,
of give the attention. So that is being sold. That is where news channels are selling their things out. So we get
oh
this
yes,
attention for the
totally,
news.
totally, totally, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just felt like there's no use in like wasting time and energy on that. Instead,
Hmm.
okay, there are like things happening all around the world,
Hmm.
but there is like spirituality also happening all around the world.
Hmm.
And if the number is less, that's okay. Today the number is less, tomorrow it will be more. But all I can think or all I can create is ripples of like compassion and kindness towards
Hmm.
everyone. Even if I don't physically go and help someone, I can at
Hmm.
least mentally think good for every person I see, or
Hmm.
like the country or the society or the world. And I totally believe that it's all about like how you're thinking
Hmm.
for yourself. And because it is a very minute process, you have to keep on working at it, because
Hmm.
it's all about like awareness and alertness. Your mind
True.
keeps on moving, you
Hmm.
just catch it and get it back. Again it will
Hmm.
go, again you hold it. It's like drawing on the water. You draw, it goes away, again you draw, again it
Hmm.
goes away,
Hmm.
you keep
Hmm.
on drawing. It's like that. So
Yeah, yeah. The physical practice,
uh,
how the physical practice is important for every single day. It's not like one day I do
yes.
Siddhasana and life will be fine. You have to do the next day again. The same thing happens with the
Yes,
mind
yes,
also.
yes.
Every day we have to clean it.
Yeah,
Every day we have to train it.
yeah, yes,
Pretty much what you
yeah,
are saying is that.
yeah. Sometimes I also feel like I've been like practicing since almost 10 years, but still there is so much shit here. So I can just like imagine like if someone who is not doing anything and consuming so much, consuming, it
True.
might be it might be a very
Very helpless life.
sad.
I have been there.
Yes.
I was in my
Yeah.
a phase of I don't know whether to call it depression, maybe very down, very helplessly down.
Mhm,
Those times I used to consume a
mhm,
lot, and then all I used to feel is the feeling of helplessness, that I'm so powerless,
mm,
that I'm so helpless, something like that. But
mm,
now the past few years, I mean 1 or 2 years, like I stopped news completely, because anyway I'm not doing any role in that, and anyway the news is also
mm.
doesn't make any difference in my life. Even after even
Yes,
stopped
yes,
watching also, it doesn't make any difference in my life. All I have
yeah,
gained is
yeah,
some kind of peace and some calmness.
yeah, yeah. So I feel there is like the whole world moving towards this, or in this, but
uh,
there are like people like
who
people working
decide to stay
with
back.
themselves, and they are moving towards like higher self, or like
uh,
more evolved like themselves. And once you are evolved, you will make the society also,
hmm,
you will just like send those vibrations. And
hmm,
that is we are moving towards a more better space, and that is the
hmm,
only thought I have. There
hmm,
is like whatever happening, it's not about being ignorant, but
hmm,
I can create this world, and I
hmm,
can create like a heaven in myself, or I can only create hell in myself. It is, I think heaven and hell are not like geographical situations. They are here only. I can create anything right now. If I'm like angry or like jealous or feeling like screwed up, I'm creating hell for myself. But
hmm.
it again, like if you just like shift how I'm feeling, lot of things just change. And in that
Hmm.
book, Being Supernatural, he's talking about that only.
Hmm.
So I'll just give you one example.
Hmm.
They had done like this one experiment with these people in Texas somewhere.
Hmm.
They were mostly like all like Mexican kind of people, Hispanic, and they were like 40 of them, and they did made groups of like 20, and they used to work in a five-star hotel, and they used to do all like work which was very heavy kind of work, like all that they did. And
Hmm.
they calculated that the work they did was more than a sportsman also, like physically. Okay,
Hmm.
are you getting it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So then they did an experiment where they made like 2020 group of 2020, and they told these people that because of what you're doing physically, it's more than a sportsman also. Okay, and these guys, they didn't tell them anything. And in a month's time, these 20 people had lost weight. They were more energetic. They were more vibrant, just because they now knew, and then they put their minds into, oh, okay, I'm doing more work out than the sports people also. So they just put this thought, and things started changing.
Hmm.
So the thing is, it is about like the thought only. Like if you feel and think in a certain way, you will move towards more better and healthier life. It is about what you think and feel. And I think that is the whole thing. Now I feel that, uh, I of course I sometimes I feel down, but again, it just takes a moment to like flip yourself from this to this.
Hmm.
Again, it's like a continuous process,
Yeah.
because they say that we get around like 60,000 thoughts in a day. So
Hmm.
it will go there, but all you have to
Ah.
do is get it here. It'll take practice. I think
Hmm.
the yogic culture and the practices that we do, somewhere we are like moving towards our higher self. Yes.
Cool. And
uh, I had written this song for my brother. So
awesome.
basically, there was a part, like a span in my our lives where he had just like moved away, and it was quite hard on the whole family.
Hmm.
So I had written this song. So I'll play it for
Ah.
you. I'm
Please.
just going to play some part of the song. I don't want to bore you with the whole song.
No, no, no. You
Uh,
can. It's okay.
yeah. Oh, brother, now I tell you why. What's within, I just can't deny. Oh, brother, how I tell you why. What's within, I just can't deny. The colors that you gather and the plans that you would weave. It's been almost few years now since that you've taken our leave. Oh, brother, how I tell you why. What's within, I just can't deny. Not only you, now who walks on fire, but set free. That's the only desire. The stormy night will soon end. These cracks will all be mended. Let's hold our hand and be fair. Let's bless with love and care. Oh, brother, what's within. And I just can't deny. Oh, brother, how I tell you what's within. And I just can't deny. The weight of darkness won't always remain. A new dawn awaits to light up our plane. In this moment that we have a chance, behold this rhythm and fearlessly dance. Oh, 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 Thank
Wonderful,
you.
wonderful. As usual. No wonder.
I have not given a name for this song yet, but yeah, it's from my brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Beautiful.
You're welcome. I think most of the people, like everyone, like the youngsters mostly, are very like hard on themselves. So I will just like suggest that you should just be like a little like smoother on yourself and be grateful. Gratefulness is like the most important thing, because if we try to just look at ourselves, like the body that we have a complete, healthy, beautiful body. It's a privilege to have this working body. So, and then moving from our body, then it's our family and our friends which make us what we are. So we should be grateful for them also, because of everything, because of whatever we are and we are not, it's because of those people in our lives. It is a privilege to have people in our lives also. Then the third thing is the space that we stay in. It is a privilege to have the space that we are staying in. Not everyone has like a home like we do. We are like kind of like protected from everything. Then moving more towards the food that nurtures us. These, like, not everyone like sleeps with a full stomach every day, and we get like a food right in our home. Like we can just call and we get food. So we should just be little grateful for all these things. Maybe it just takes like maybe like 1 or 2 minutes in a day. You can just think, like, maybe you can just like close your eyes and just uh, send like these vibes of gratefulness to all these things. This is very important, because being grateful is like, it is kind of a magic wand. You can just like change and transform. Nothing will transform or change outside, but just being grateful about the things that we have and the people that we have in our lives makes so much of a difference. And I have like realized this like 2 years back. Being grateful is the most important and strong tool that we have, and it is nothing, but it is so much. So yeah, just be
Cool,
grateful.
bro. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
No, it's
thank you
very,
so
I
much
don't
for
know
having
what to
me.
say. No, I should
Thank
thank
you
you,
so much for having me.
I'm so grateful that
Yeah.
I could, have someone, into my circle. Your energy and your support and love. I'm so grateful for it. And we'll keep
We are friends
connecting
for
like
life.
this. Yeah.
Twist. Cool,
Thank you,
man.
bro. Thank you
Nice
so much.
talking to
We'll
you.
keep connecting.
Thank you
Nice
so much.
talking to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.